dawn of a new day. Hey everyone, welcome back to Astral Chain. In the last episode, we took down Yosef, or Noah, or the Ark, or whichever one you want to use, and, well, left off on a cliffhanger, I guess. So, let's load right in and see where things left off.
A month has passed since our fateful encounter with Noah. Fewer and fewer gates open throughout the Ark with each passing day, but our troubles aren't over. Jin and Alicia put Neuron back together. They still don't have a new commander, but Olive's making the best of it. Come to think of it, maybe Neuron does have a new commander after all. Marie does her very best to pitch in, whether anybody wants her to or not. At the reopened ARI, Brenda's turned her research outwards, to the land we lost decades ago. She thinks we may one day be able to leave the Ark. She's cautiously optimistic, which is as sure as Brenda ever gets. Hal never came back to Neuron, not even with his drone. But rumor has it the Hermits have turned over a new leaf towards restoration efforts in Zone 09. Maybe they've had a little help along the way. You can never tell what Hal's up to. As for Akira, she vanished along with Noah, but she's still here, with us. She doesn't know exactly what happened a month back. Maybe she never will. Why did one get left behind? Was it an act of mercy from Noah, maybe? Or a gift from the Legions? I don't know. But I do know that I'll keep fighting as long as she's by my side. Until the world is clean again. Until the world is peaceful again. I know someone who would have wanted it that way.
At ease, Legionis. Sorry to keep you busy, but we've got a ton of cases piled up. Come back and talk to me when you're ready to get moving. Oh, and don't forget to file your paperwork.
What a great intro to have. Paperwork. Fantastic. And also, can I just complain about the fact that, you know, we just had a gloss over like these characters who we were looking for, missing, and kind of wishing they were by our side?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Jin. I Jin it in and whatnot. Yeah, sure, they were fine. And then other things happened, and it's all good. And then also Akira's back, but might just be not the real one. It's a bit muddled, but hey, you know what's gonna do. Anyway, I don't see anything that we need to do, so we're back in uniform, we're back in daily duty, so Olive, what you got?
I knew I could count on you.
Okay, so do these not have story relevance? Are these literally just side quests after endgame? It kind of reminds me what you guys do during Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, the plot's over, but you can still go on missions. They don't do anything. So you can still do it if you'd like. If you're that kind of a mission junkie. I mean, we'll give some of these a go, but meanwhile, I guess we can just have a bit of a chit-chat and just see what we fancy. Or just our thoughts about the game in general. So, Alice, have you got any extended thoughts from our finale ever since then?
Not really.
Anything at all? And that's and it's not me asking, you know, I'm not asking in the kind of accusing way. I'm just genuinely curious.
Well, I mean, there isn't a whole lot to say that we haven't already covered. I mean, I like this game, but it's probably not one I would want to come back to.
No.
I will admit.
If I were to give one of these things like a classic recommendation, it'd be like it's worth a rent and whatnot. So I guess there's that. For me, I could definitely say there are a lot of things to love about this game. The music, for one, is top notch, and I love it to bits. This soundtrack, well, it's platinum, so what can you expect? They never fail in terms of their soundtracks. We'll say story isn't really the best. I say as I die. But I digress. Come on, Jap, get up. I feel this game could have done with a better tutorial instead of just like a bog standard training ground, I suppose. I mean, other games that do tutorials quite well is that they put it in the actual field of gameplay, in which it's an obstacle that you can't cross unless you do this very specific trick, and that's how you learn.
Yeah, because I can remember when we were in the training ground, there was actually something you couldn't do.
I know, it was I think it was one of the pillar jumps, in which I've never been able to do, because oh no, it just hasn't seemed needed at that time. And there's probably been set pieces throughout each level to say, hey, idiot, you can do it. But really, I've never actually needed to do anything apart from the simple stuff. Now, I know some people might say that's a bit of an omission on our part, and in some cases you might be right, absolutely. But if the game doesn't do a good enough job explaining, such and such move to you, then that's on the game.
Yeah, because like throughout this entire project, I don't feel like I've gotten better at this game at all. I just feel like I'm mashing buttons and hoping that I connect with the monsters.
I've learned a fair bit, but has it been easy to comprehend? Hell no.
I mean, like what you did just there, bouncing off your Legion, I wouldn't know how you would go about doing that.
It feels good when you get it right, but most of the time you do find yourself stumbling your way forward. And another complaint that I have immensely, and I will not forgive this game for, is that it doesn't give you it doesn't give you a wide variety. Now, what I mean is in terms of customization, and I know character customization in this game of all things is not the be-all end-all. I'll happily admit that. But the fact that it puts you through stages and levels, and you can't get everything in one go, I feel like that is jerkish, and I don't like that in any game, regardless of who makes it. Because you've had to go back and have different legions, but that also compromises the story and also the natural flow of the game, and it's also asking you to be like a really smart detective, except you can't be a smart detective and get everything 100% because you don't have the tools available, which you cannot possibly have.
Yeah, because like we couldn't complete some of the cases like the Lost Cat because we didn't have an Axe Legion yet.
No, I just feel like it's a glaring omission, and I really just don't like it. But hey, that's my grievance.
When I saw trailers for this game and like saw the characters, I was actually immediately kind of hoping that our main character wouldn't be a silent protagonist that you could create on your own. I was hoping that we would have like a superpower sibling duo and we'd have a strong family bond. But none of that got in this game. I was disappointed that our sister was just a pushover and we didn't have a bond with her at all.
Yeah, because it just seems like you're on for the ride. Nothing is really... It's really hard to say, really.
mean, kind of emotional moments with our dad and with our sister, they were lost with the silent protagonist, I think.
The thing that I don't get about that is that they gave you a choice between, you know, who do you want to be? Do you want to be a male or a female? In saying that, you know, you could be different genders and different siblings would be, you know, they'd be different. I forgot how to use words briefly there for a second. So you would naturally assume that they would have voice lines for each gender. So why not just have the main protagonist just, I don't know, just say their lines?
Yeah, because like I think in the beginning of this file, I think that was the male protagonist speaking.
Yeah, it's just odd. This thing is an odd beast. That is Astral Chain in a nutshell. It's very odd. It's very different, and I feel like it's an acquired taste. This game is, I think, something that you cannot just simply sit down and play of your own admission. You really need to dedicate a lot of time to it to get better. But doing that, it's kind of like an akin to speed running. You can like a game, absolutely, and you can thoroughly enjoy it. But if you have to really spend time with it and to get efficient and good at it, then it loses some of its charm. And after disappointment, after failure in trying to get good, it sort of turns bitter in your mouth. So, yeah, I don't really know. But I'll speak to Olive again just to see if anything's changed, and if not, then I guess kind of ran out of things to do, because this to me, this is just simply do mundane side quests and just, oh no, capitalize on some things. But I will say though, if this is the case, that was kind of like a milquetoast ending.
Yeah.
I don't know if we chose the wrong ending of choosing not to do it, but still, it's like, it's a bit weird.
And the fact that Akira came back even though we killed her, even if it is a clone, it does kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, it was a noble sacrifice. Oh, she's here still.
Another job well done. I knew I could count on you.
So we're checking cases again and nothing's been done. Alright. I mean,
We just get common material codes for them.
I'll go for the Astral Plane one and see if anything comes off that. Because if this is the case and nothing's really been changed, yeah, that was kind of like a milquetoast ending.
I mean, because I feel like I can go on and on and on about the plot holes in the story, but I'm sure you didn't want to hear that.
I feel like we've, I wouldn't say heard enough, but I feel like we're going over old ground regarding everything here. Also, here's also another weird thing that I've just figured out. Our ultimate form, it doesn't stay charged even after each segment. And most likely, you're probably not going to get it charged after each of these missions are done. So, are you saying like the ultimate form is kind of pointless now because there's no way we can get it full ever again unless you really want to wait around?
I mean, I noticed it was charging during the fight with all those Acuras, but I don't know how.
It just recharges on its own, I believe.
I mean, does it recharge if the Legion's not out?
No, I think it charges as is. It's just very, very slow.
Like scale fuel.
I see. I chained to the dog and jumped off a cliff. Thanks, doggy. I did it. I didn't do it. Please stay open. Please don't be a goddamn jerk. Thank you. But yeah, if these are just like no game plus extra challenges, I don't really see the point. Especially if it's not going to give anything new, especially if it's not going to give any more narrative insight. I mean, because like, if this is this going to acknowledge that our dad exists? Probably not. So I just don't get the point. Just seems like they were tagged on the very last minute.
Or probably to give you something to do if you've done all the cases beforehand.
I suppose so, but if that's the case, then what is the point? You could just say, hey, guess what? Job's done. Now you can just, oh no, enjoy yourself. Because if I remember correctly, I don't think Bayonetta had anything like this, but I digress. I probably should stop using Bayonetta as an example. I know a lot of games have done similar things, but it's just very weird.
Probably just for like completionist sake.
I know, it just bothers me that it just ended so abruptly that I just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, because I can remember when the credits scene came up, you're like, that was Astral Chain?
Yeah, it's
you asked it in a question.
I just find it to be so weird. But if I'll be honest, that's just been this game in a nutshell. And I'm just repeating myself at this point, so I feel like we'll wait until this finishes up and then we'll make our judgment call.
And I like this game, but I feel like it's kind of like Xenoblade X, and where it's at its most fun if you've mastered its gameplay style.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking Lino with its electric arrows.
Yep. Nice. That's the first cool shot we've ever had. Yeah, that was apparently the hardest side quest done, and nothing much else has come to it. There's no other side quests around. There's no other story prompts that are going on. The fact that we don't even get to see Hal again is a bit of a weird omission as well in my mind.
Like, who controls the drone?
Is Hal a person, or is Hal just a figment of our imagination? What if there was no how to begin with?
Plot twist, he's controlled by Kyle.
Yeah, guess what? Hal is our dad. Plot twist. I mean, Hal, the hologram could just be a figment that our dad made up. Yeah, sure. Hal's our dad. Confirmed. But guys, I think we've seen enough here.
I'm kind of worried though that all those cases are gonna, if we complete them all, it will have a cutscene.
We will do some research and see if things come up. But I think this is Astral Chain in a nutshell. The fact that we ain't seeing anything else come up. Yeah, don't think there's anything that's gonna come up, so yeah, I think we're done. Wow, that's a weird ending.
Yeah.
What a weird ending to the story as well as the series. But for our last note though, before we end things off here, lessons that we have learned from doing this Let's Play. I'll say it outright. I'll be completely and utterly honest. This has not been our best work.
No.
There's been episodes in which we've had nothing to say or had just really no insight, because either we weren't really enjoying the combat, we didn't really fully understand it. The story didn't give us much to grasp onto, except, you know, bagging on our sister, and my god, that never gets old.
Or Detective Dr. Cross.
Yeah. The emotions were there, but they came to awkward places, and I feel like they could have been executed a lot better. And also, this goddamn play style I just don't think suits us. Narrative and hectic combat really is a fine line to get right, and even more difficult to do with Let's Play, because you've got to talk, and you've also got to be competent in fights. Which I feel like we didn't quite balance, so there's things that we have to learn there. But it is lessons that we are going to take going forward, and I feel like games like this we're probably going to avoid making Let's Plays of.
Stream them, yeah.
It's probably something we are going to stream going forward, because again, I just don't feel that this has been very entertaining to watch, but those who have been watching, I do appreciate your time, and I do apologize this hasn't been very entertaining to watch. But every channel grows and lessons are learned, and I feel like this was a learning experience regardless. So, on that positive note, guys, out of a negative, I think we'll call things there. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for watching this series. Astral Chain is in the books and all done. Now, move on to brighter horizons. So, with that said, guys, if you want to subscribe to see more content like this, then be sure to subscribe. If you like it, well, nice salute you, good sir. If you don't like it, well then, aboard the Ark with you, or whatever religious context you want to use. And we'll see you back here next time. This is Detective. I can't even say it. Detective for. Sorry. One more time. Detective Doctor Football Player Dog Hunting Demon Slaying Friend Fighting Hole Digging Delinquent Beating Dr. Cross. I said Doctor twice, but I'm gonna roll with it, baby. Detective Cross, signing out.
It's a fight for our paradise, fight for our life, so keep holding on.